What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is Battle Birds Podcast Pregame Eagles Giants. We are here to talk about this team getting on the playoff run that we've been speculating to happen, and it's coming true. I mean, a nice bounce back game, although Washington wasn't really up to par. The Eagles did what they needed to do the next three quarters after the rusty start. But here we are, pregame Battle Birds Podcast, missing one. Fresh, he will be in shortly. He had a great Christmas, just getting up a little late. But go ahead, introduce yourself for the people who do not know already.
What's up, y'all? Some of y'all call me Coach Steve. Some of y'all call me Stat Sheet Steve. I don't care what you call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. Y'all know my little saying here. What's up, guys? Steve, Gate City Sports Media. This is a big game, Mike. We got revenge on our minds. I heard for a couple of weeks now, these players, they're waiting on this football game. They feel a certain way about the way it went down a few weeks ago. So I sure hope that translates to the field.
Correct. I mean, revenge for us, let alone for them. It was the ultimate letdown game, right? It was a game that we should have won, and you've seen it by how the game played out. What team turns the ball over 4 times but has an opportunity to win at the end? Twice, right? You do not have that. I mean, you turn the ball over 4 times in an NFL game, you should be losing by 2 to 3 touchdowns. But it goes to show how we were able to move the ball through the 20s and the 20s, right? We just couldn't execute in the red zone, and we couldn't take care of the ball. But today we're coming in this game fully fresh. Can't say fully fresh. We did play on a Tuesday, but before that Tuesday game, we had 16 games, and I'm actually happy we're getting back because we saw that rust factor in a team that has a new coach, new quarterback. How do you think this team responds, just not just throughout the game, but like the first drive, defense and offense? How do they respond to make that stamp that says, okay, the Eagles, we're not gonna give you one of them just drop off games that we did against the Giants first time?
I know Nick Sirianni, when I say Nick Sirianni tends to favor second half possessions on the coin toss when we win it. I think this is a game I want my offense out there first because I feel like the strength of the Giants team is on their defense and particularly their secondary, which is something I tried to caution everybody about the first game, that don't sleep on that secondary. It's a lot better than people think. And Patrick Graham's he's a better coach than people think. I want their strength. I want to take it from them, and I want to take it from them early. That's personally, that's what I want. I want the tone set, and I want them to know we're coming in hot and heavy, and you're gonna have to keep pace if you want to play with us today. And I think that's what's got to be done, in my opinion. The tone's got to be set, through the running game. We need to. Here's the thing: they like to go cover 2 man under. They like to play a lot of cover 5, which is really what cover 2 man under is. So basically, it means that they're going to walk down tight coverage on your receivers, and they're going to keep 2 safeties over the top of you. I want to knock them out of that. I want them to have to come down and play the box. Come down and play the box on us. And you're going to have to get down here in these trenches and fight with us. I'm hoping Landon Dickerson is a go today. I didn't really look to see. I'm assuming he's a go today because, just the length of time. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson on that left side. Kelsey being able to pull and swing and move. Lane Johnson, still Lane Johnson. He's been a lot better since he came back to the team. I'm getting behind these offensive linemen, man. I'm setting the tone real quick.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think that Giants game is when we first tried to get pass happy, right? It was the game after Jalen Hurts elaborated on working or talking with Peyton Manning. It's the game after a lot of questions came that you guys are not just a running team, but the way it was worded multiple times, that's kind of what was bouncing around before that Giants game. And although if you look at the box score, right, at the end of the game, it's 31-33. How more bounds can you get than that? I think the second half was tailored to catching back up with the run game, right? We caught back up because it was a 1 possession game for the whole game pretty much. But if you look in that first half, the pass to run ratio was definitely lopsided. And we played into the Giants' hand, them dropping back, and we continue to throw the ball. As Gates said, run the ball, not to just run the ball, but to get them easier passes later in the game, later in the drive, and just take advantage of what you can take advantage of. Now, the defense better eat. We got, I think, Jake Fromm, they said, is starting, or is that the fact now?
That's from what I understand is Jake Fromm will be the starter unless they just decide Mike Lennon's a better play. I probably would go with Jake Fromm personally if I was aiming though. Mike Glenn's kind of a weird guy because there was success with him in Tampa Bay at one point, but he's kind of fallen off.
He
Um,
made a lot of money though in his
yeah, he
career.
did.
He,
The
he
Bears
was
paid
able to
him. Remember, the
finagle some
Bears paid
stuff.
him pretty nicely. Um, with that said, man, like I agree with you. Aggressiveness. There needs to be a certain tone to the defense today in terms of just not respecting them. And look, I'm not saying that the Giants don't have talent and they can't beat you, but I'm making Galladay and these guys beat me if Galladay's even in the lineup because he's been injured so much in and out. You know what I mean? Like it's really been that's been the knock on Galladay. He's a good player, but he gets hurt and you don't really get full productive seasons out of him. Um, I probably would go. I probably would play aggressive here, and I look at things like the Giants have these weird kind of great route runners that they're not necessarily burners. Darius Slayton could definitely beat you. Sterling Shepard and those dudes are a little bit more precise in the routes. I mean, I get that you worry about maybe a guy not keeping up, not staying in phase with the wide receiver and then gaining that separation just on how good they are. I'm still gambling. I'm gambling and I'm bringing it in tight on them. Like, you know, I don't know what you do here. I don't know if you want Slayton to be matched up with Darius Slay or if you want Darius Slay on Galladay, but I'm matching up and I'm going, I'm going to play a lot more man than people are probably used to seeing the Eagles play if I'm Gannon.
Yeah, and did you hear anything about an update on Miles Sanders? I know at one time I forgot what day of the week it was. I believe it was Friday or
Mhm.
Thursday. He did not practice. Um, normally around that time, Thursday, Friday, is me not playing. I'm not sure what the exact update is on Miles Sanders hamstring.
Yeah, he's playing from what I understand.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's good. You want all these guys to go for sure
Mhm.
in this game just because the versatility they bring to the table. Um, but man, I just don't want to get too pretty. Look, every time someone says stop running, passing the ball, throwing the ball, run the ball, people think it's a slight on Jalen Hurts or a slight that you have to have a quarterback that can pass the ball, and I agree 100%. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, if you are the number one team in a category, you use it, right? That means if we had a slinger of the ball in Matthew Stafford or Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, maybe not this year, but I think it's not who he really is. I think it's just one of them years that it's a hiccup. You just take it and you move on.
Sure.
Even still, I'm going to be asking for the run game because when you do that at such a level that we are, right? 160 something plus in 7 straight games, only done by the 19 something Bears, right? Like we are running the ball, smash mouth football just because it's a passing league. Don't mean you have to be like everybody else. Be your own person. And right now, when you're doing it at an elite level, I don't care who the quarterback is.
Mhm.
Compliment it and do it as many time as creative and as we are doing it, and then all that will come through. We saw Jalen Hurts throw for 296 yards while we ran the ball against Washington. All that got to come out again. The Giants are banged up, offense and defense, and I think that offense knows where they're at. They got 4 wins. Players don't tank, but front offices do, and they're looking for another one. They're going to get rid of
Sure.
Gettleman. I don't know if what's his name? What's the coach again? Joe Judge. I don't know if he's going to be back or not. So, supposedly he will. But when you get rid of uh your front office guy, your general manager, they're going to want the next general manager that comes in wants that top 5 pick, and the Giants are shooting for not just 1 but 2 with the Bears, so they got nothing to play for except for the fact they hate us, and Joe Judge is making them listen to Fly Eagles Fly in the practices.
So I mean, the way I look at it from the Giants' perspective is I've been very candid. I have not hid the fact that I'm not a big believer in Joe Judge. Said that from the moment he was hired. He's not the guy I would have picked personally. But made that decision and we can reap the benefit of it today. With that said, we got to beat this guy. We got to beat this guy, man, because right now he's 2-1 up on us right now. Can't have that. We just can't have that, man. Like I'm hoping to see Gannon do some things with a young quarterback here. I would definitely be bringing some. I would be messing with his head with pressure and disguised coverage, especially if we start falling into zone. He better start disguising stuff. You just can't let a rookie quarterback sit back there with enough time to pick you apart, not bring anything to mess with his head a little bit. Bring that double A gap look, bring those double mug looks, right? Do some things where you're bringing your corners down. Even if you're not going to send it, at least give that pre-snap read and then try to force him into a major mistake. Use those stunts, those twists on the defensive line. We got to do something, man. We cannot, the thing that bothered me was in stretches of in the last game. It wasn't consistent, but there were some plays where we gave a guy who hasn't played a lot of football in the league, although he's been in the league for a long time, a ton of time to sit back and operate. And the most egregious play was in the red zone, to where, to be honest with you, Avonte Maddox just made a really great play on the football, knocked it away, but that could have easily been a touchdown score because he had a lot of time to throw that pass to the corner. And I was like, oh boy, you can't do that in the red zone, man. The guy can't just sit back there and data check and you know what I mean, sign it. Like come on, man.
Yeah, I agree. Overall, I think the defensive performance was good. The two short fields that the offense gave them, even though the fumble from Jalen Hurts was kind of in our side, we were probably around a 30. The return brought them back over probably north of the 40 down to the 30 something. So two short fields, a touchdown and a field goal, and then only one drive. So I do credit how the defense defended them eventually, because he's just not good. But you're right, you just can't do that. If that's any other quarterback sitting back there, they're going to find spots in the zones. It's just this guy is not not what you want, even in a backup quarterback. He was he was on somebody else's practice squad. He got to Washington. He had 6 days in that system. So he went from a practice squad to a starting role for a different team, not even the team he was on a practice squad from. So that's a tall task for anybody. At the end of the day, Jake Fromm is in that same type of situation. He has nothing to lose, in the sense that he has only to gain, because nobody looks at him like a starting quality quarterback. But he's trying to make a little name for himself, right? This is how little story books are written. Let's look at Nick Foles. Came in and did stuff to get some type of job throughout the league, right? You got Case Keenum. You got the bearded man who's hurt for the Washington football team. Like, this is how these guys made their name as a journeyman or a backup that can still get a nice payday. Chase Daniels, Matt Castle, right? Guys who played a couple good games and were able to now go ahead and make a little bit of a payday from that. So you just don't want him to get right or make something happen against our team. And the best way to do that is to send the hounds. How have you looked at the overall play from the front four? It's kind of underwhelming in the second half of the season. You would agree?
Yes. I mean, yeah, Mike, to be honest, of course. I will say that I think that the last game, Fletch looked like he was coming alive. I think he took that leadership role on. I think he knew you cannot let off on this Washington football team. Like, it doesn't matter that they're down players. We got to be at least at our B game tonight, or else we're in trouble. And we almost were in trouble early in that game. And I do think that I'm a little disappointed in the way that they've used Milton Williams and some of the other supporting cast, but I'm also pleasantly surprised with how good of a fit a guy like Teron Jackson is in return for the system and the scheme. So, I mean, it's a little bit of both, right? I mean, I feel like Milton Williams could really kind of be, especially when you lost Brandon Graham, he could be that guy that you just move all around the defensive line, stunts, twists, get this guy matchups, man. I mean, not a guy you want being, at the 3 technique with an IDL designation where they're trying to double the interior defensive lineman, because he gets driven out of his gaps that way. He doesn't hold that well. But man-to-man, where you got a man-to-man blocking scheme where he can just one gap, he's athletic. Use the guy, stunts, twists, get this dude, 5 technique, 3 technique, put him in as a 0 shade on a tilt at nose. He's not a down in and down out nose. He's going to get blown off the ball. But if all he's got to do is beat the center off the football, he's already more of a better athlete than the center, and the center's got the complication of the exchange of the handoff. I'm using that dude. Like, you got one job to do, Milton. Beat this dude. Beat this dude pressure. Disrupt this play. I don't know why they haven't done it, man. I don't know why they haven't done it. I don't feel like they're always capitalizing on some of the talent that they actually have invested in. And I think it's something that they need to look into in the offseason about how you're using certain players and how could you have maximized their potential more.
You talking about Milton Williams?
Yes.
I agree. I agree. But whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. No lie. I still got a frog voice and everything. Yo, that man. You know what it is. You know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General, man. Sorry for being late. Listen, I had a wild night, and it wasn't nothing like you think. It was with the kids, and it was washing clothes. Like I was a whole maid last night, and I did it till about 3 o'clock in the morning, man. So this is why I'm late, man. But I apologize. But we here now. What I miss?
Well, all we did is talk about, just not starting slow, knowing that this is a game that can get us where we want to be. The Giants are coming in not having anything to play for. Sometimes they're the scary teams, right? Again, a guy like Jake Fromm, he has nowhere to go but up. I mean, he's not even a backup. He's a third or fourth stringer. So these are the guys just trying to come in and get a storybook ending to a season to get something going for them the next season. What is your take on just how the Eagles got to come out and respond to a slow start, and just the fact that this is an NFC East team that has not their front office tank, players don't take. But what kind of Giants team you think we're going to see, and what kind of Eagles team you think we're going to see in this game?
I tell you what, I don't want to see the Eagles team from the first quarter of the last game. I'll tell you that, and I'll tell you this. I'm looking at Jonathan Gannon in this. Um, the fact of the matter is, you're not getting pressure, and I know that's probably what made Steve allude to the Milton Williams factor. But the fact of the matter is, you're not getting pressure. These quarterbacks are sitting there just happy. They can text they wife, tell them what they want for Christmas, and wrap it up, and they just got time to do all type of stuff. And it's freaking ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie to you. So when you look at the situation, Josh Sweat, I need more. Derek Barnett, you fell off again. I thought you was getting more pressure than everybody else. I think, well, not thought, you actually was. Hargrave, we see flashes. I understand you're getting double, but you getting paid to get double. This is what's going to happen. So you mean to tell me if you got Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, both of them can't get doubled at one time? That means there's only one lineman to block Sweat and Derek Barnett. So it's impossible unless you bring in a tight end, and it's still not doubling both of them. They're not getting doubled all the time. So one of them need to dominate whenever they're getting one-on-one coverage. And they went against third stringers last week. Well, really this week, but you get what I'm saying.
In the same week, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. I'm sitting there, I'm looking. Did they get some pressure in the third and the fourth quarter? Yes, they did. But that was also when the game was not out of hand, but it was really out of reach. And you can tell that we was going to win the game. I need to see pressure from the rip. I need to see that you do not let this dude from whatever the heck his name is get any comfortable at all. The dude that we faced last week got a little comfortable, and I'm mad at that. This defense should never let that happen. It was to the point that I think it was like 9 of 14. That's too good. No, he need to be 4 of 14. Stuff like that with an interception and 3 sacks. Now, I'm not saying that he is in the NFL. I get it. I understand it. But it's also a reason why he's a third stringer. It's also a reason why they had to get him from the practice squad. It's also a reason
Of
that
another team.
exactly. So when you look at the situation, dude, like don't let these guys play Kurt Warner on us. I don't know if y'all seen a movie yet, but we all know what happened with Kurt Warner. Came off the streets. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. I ain't gonna lie to you until I seen a movie, but damn. But yeah, don't let these dudes play Kurt Warner on us, man. So when you look at the situation of it's Jonathan Gannon's, it should be his tempo that needs to be set. Now I came in last week and I told y'all I thought that we should accept the ball and then take off from there. Now I was wrong because of the rust. We seen rust last week. Not gonna lie to you. You seen your quarterback had 23 days off. You seen that the rest of your team had 16 days off. It was some rust there. And I seen the weirdest interception I ever seen in my freaking life. Not gonna lie to you. Never seen nothing like it. But still in fact, and then your quarterback comes with a fumble on top of that. Still in fact, your defense should be able to shut down a dude that basically came off the streets. I understand it was in a red zone, but the second one wasn't. So you should be able to stop these dudes and get them either out of field goal range or just take the ball away. And to me, they wasn't aggressive enough. You kept sending forward. They wasn't getting home. And then you started sending these blitzes in the third and fourth quarter, and we seen a different quarterback. Ding, ding, ding. You don't see that?
Yeah.
Well, you do now, but sometimes it can be too late. No, you need to come out here from the rip and put pressure on this dude. Go ahead, Joe.
Now, real quick though, just to let ZYTX know, Nick Sirianni is going to be the coach of the game.
Yeah.
I think it was last night. It was around Christmas. I saw that your boy was in Christmas mode, so I can't really drop no videos, nothing like that. But yeah, he will be. Shout out to him for doing what he needed to do, testing positive and being able to beat the COVID and test negative and come here and coach us. I was going to ask you guys yesterday when I was thinking about the game coming up before I saw that, I was, the segment would have been talking about how do you feel about Kevin Patullo doing all the timeouts, going for a 4th and 9, blah, 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 and Shane Slayton calling the game, but we don't got to worry about that. But shout out to JB real quick. He was like, that was a normal Tuesday night football interception. You're right. That's why we shouldn't be playing on Tuesdays. But yeah, man, this is a big game. Steve, if on defense, right?
Mhm.
Against a guy like Fromm, as Fresh just said, he wants to see more pressure. You talked about doing some stunts, trying to really get Milton Williams involved, getting him on an island one-on-one, so he has the matchup that benefits him. If there's one guy on his D line not named Fletch, who I like you said, I think what he was able to do on the field last week, but also in on the sideline stuff, you don't see Fletch be that vocal. I think he realized this might be a last hurrah for him. There's a couple guys on this team that might be going through their last hurrah. They like playoffs are right there. No matter how we are getting them, they're right there. And guys like that step up. But who else do we need to see step up on this D line? And do we have somebody that can do that? We paid Josh Sweat. He's not a top tier guy, but he got a decent amount of bread. Who can be a guy that don't just do it
Flip him.
periodically?
My answer to you is flip him. Flip Josh Sweat and flip Derek Barnett. I think Derek Barnett would be far more effective as the left defensive end. Josh Sweat is the right defensive end. Personally, I think that's part of the mistakes that are going on here. I would flip those two players personally. Kerrigan's not going to be playing this game, so you don't have to worry about that kind of rotation piece here. Teron Jackson is, I was high on Teron Jackson. you guys know I was a really big fan of that draft pick, but you got to see how a guy plays when he gets more and more snaps, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to get more and more snaps. Is he going to be effective in that role as the snap count goes up? Hargrave's your answer. Hargrave's the answer. It's your other defensive lineman. If you start playing Where's Waldo with Fletcher Cox in the offensive line and the protection has to start trying to figure out where this young man, Fletch is probably not so young anymore, but where Fletch is, where this veteran man is, then Hargrave needs to eat. And he's probably the next gifted guy. We've seen what he did early in the season. If you give this guy the right matchups, especially if he can just be a one gap penetrator and just beat guys, pause. he can absolutely take over a football game on a team. And I think that's what you have to do is like, I would love to see the defensive line be more aware of matchup. Who is the guy out there that we can abuse by manipulating and putting this guy right in front of him? That's I feel like we're too reactionary and we're not making them react to us. We're reacting to them instead of vice versa. I would love to see Gannon make that switch a little bit towards the end of the season.
Hey, I could pay dividends, something like a defensive line doing something changing up, less tape. What are they going to do? Are they going to come back and play as normal? Are they going to keep throwing these fronts? And that is kind of what, I understood him trying to move Fletch and these guys. I didn't like when he was having guys like Barnett and Fletch try to guard the running back out the backfield in the flats, or on screens. But move them around, yeah, why not? I think we got some of the guys. Brandon Graham was really that versatile piece who can play inside and outside, right? And and things of that sort. I think Hargrave can do it as well. Not a lot, but switching up where we were supposed to be a team that has multiple fronts, right? But whenever we got into any weird multiple front, we took one of our best guys and made them do something they not good at, right? Multiple fronts, go ahead and switch it around, but still let their identity be get to the rush, get to the quarterback, not drop back and look at running backs out the backfield when you got a guy like Barnett and Fletch. But I thought that's what we were getting because, that is what you saw from the Rams last year. And that is what he kept trying to compare the multiple front look we're going to try to do. You still did. Aaron Donald gets the quarterback, multiple areas he lines up, but none of that dropping back defensive lineman to help stop the pass that you already can't stop. That was just ridiculous. But real quick, shout out to Michael Felder with the $10 donation. Eagles by not one, but two of them bad boys, 2 touchdown victory. We can sit back like this. Ain't no biting our fingernails or nothing. I'm with it, Michael. What's your take, Fresh?
I do like, once again, it came in the fourth quarter, but I do like Flex was on the outside when he got that sack. I like that. If you want to switch things up, I ain't got no problem with that. I need to see, and this is not about the line. I need to see, because we don't have, like last night, Mike, like you said, I don't know if you watched the game. I seen the dude named Buda Baker was all over the damn field. This dude, Buda Baker, man, wow. Like, I didn't know he was that good. I heard his name before. People talk to me about him. But they actually, because I don't watch Cardinal games. Like, come on now. They actually sit there. I mean, seriously. They actually sit there and watch this dude. And all I kept thinking was, that's something that we need. And that's going to have to come in the draft. I would like to get that safety from Notre Dame. And I think he can be that kind of guy for us. But since you don't have that kind of safety, I need to see some more pressure from Avery, man. I would love to see Avery just play linebacker, but just say, yo, go downhill. He's not a Minka Parsons. He's not a Javon Clowney. He's not those dudes. But I think that he can get the job done also if you use him like that. Use him as your fifth guy and trust that your linebackers and your safeties are going to be able to cover if he misses. So to me, if the defensive line isn't getting there, I think Avery is that guy for me, man. And I don't think that they use him enough. They use him in coverages. They use him to stop runs. Yeah. But I would love to see him just go get the quarterback. Go get the quarterback. That's my answer, man.
Yeah. A couple things. Michael, appreciate the super chat, buddy. I agree. 2 scores. I think that's where we should be. This should be a 10-pointer plus win. No doubt about it. Did you see Richie MC's comment though? What do you guys think? Because I haven't watched a lot. I haven't watched a lot of Arizona either, so I'm not too sure. I honestly haven't watched Kyler Murray a whole lot this year, Richie MC. So you might be right. I'm not really sure. I do think Dallas is probably in line to get that second seed right now.
Yeah, they look good to get that second seed, which, if you'd want to make sure that Green Bay's too far for them to catch and nobody can catch them. That makes our game non-important at the end of the season. We got to figure out where all that plays. I don't know. Kyler Murray was in the MVP talks before his injury. He hasn't played as good since, but I mean, he's still been doing some things. Not sure. I know he was one of the Pro Bowl quarterbacks, and shout out to Jalen Hurts for making a alternate Pro Bowl selection. Is still something for a super young career. And when you look at his mark on the offense in totality, again, you got to count that 10 rushing touchdowns. I mean, when Lamar does it and other people do it, when Michael Vick did it back then, it was very, important. Now that he's doing it, people want to look away from it. So 10 touchdowns on the ground, 14 through the air, still 24 touchdowns, right? Is it 14 or 16?
It's 14.
14, so that's still 24 touchdowns. We still got some games to play, and as Michael Felder said, we got him by 2 touchdowns. I mean, we got some opportunity to get more on the board.
But it seemed like, it's all narratives and it's all favoritism and stuff like that. True. It seemed like when the Eagles, other than Michael Vick, like you said, but it seemed like when the Eagles quarterback runs for all these touchdowns, nobody gives a damn. You know what I mean? And to me, it's once again, it's popularity because he's Lamar Jackson, because he can do this and he can do that. And if Kyler Murray had 10 rushing touchdowns, we would everybody be going all over the hills for that. Even if Russell, you know, a lot of that is the names, and we gotta understand that. We gotta understand that Jalen Hurts is gonna have to make a name. He has a name to us, but we don't matter like as a whole. I mean, we're just Eagles fans, so he got to make a name, and he has an opportunity to do that right now. So now that we on him, let's talk about the quarterback, man. To me, from what I seen last week, was a quarterback that had to, knock the rust off. And then once he did, I thought he played the best 3 quarters that I've seen from him ever. The first quarter, I can't say I throw it away. That's why I don't say the best game that I've seen from him, because you can't just erase that quarter, even though that that interception was not on him. But you've seen a guy that had some rust in him. And then shout out to Nick Sirianni, man. As much as I grind this dude up, I've been seeing a lot of positivity from him. But it also started with the things that we were saying, telling him to do. Yo, that what's going on, bro? The things that we was telling him to do, like run the football, the simple things. And once he got a hang of that, it seems like he's starting to understand, and the game is slowing down to him. And that's also helping your quarterback. So when Jalen Hurts came on that sideline, and after that fumble, and it looked like Nick Sirianni gave him the business, and it looked like Jalen Hurts wasn't listening, I was kind of mad at that. I'm like, damn, dude, you're not even going to turn around. I understand he paused, but he chewing you out. Pause. But at the same time, I'm like, you're not even going to like respond. But then he did. He
On the
responded
field.
on the field. Like, and I thought that see, it's little intricate things to me that open up my eyes and tell me, man, this dude gets it. And I think Jalen Hurts is getting it. Now, you can say it's against a watch football team, but they had almost everybody on defense except for Chase Young. So you can say what you want, but that still was their defense. The defensive line, all of them was there. I think they was missing one person. And I think they was missing the safety. But they was there. So when you look at the fact of the matter is, he did it in all capacities. He showed up and made the plays that he needed to make, and his wide receivers made plays for him too. The Greg Ward catch, the touchdown, the Devontae Smith toe tap. And it's crazy, like, people are texting me, that's a catch, that's crazy, and they're going crazy about it. And I say, it's about time that we got a guy that can do this. Because I see it all across the league. When you watch Red Zone, when you watch other games, you see these toe tapping catches. You see a guy like Lockett making these crazy behind catches. And we finally got one. So right now, we didn't discuss it. Well, I wasn't there until the end, but we didn't discuss this last week. But all of us made videos about it. Can we stop with the Micah Parsons stuff? Because I don't think we missed on this kid. This kid is special, man. And it's finally time that we got one. And if we didn't have one, we'll be complaining that we don't have one. So let's just relish in the whole situation of us having a good wide receiver who is a number one and is a rookie. So he's not going to do nothing but get better, hopefully. So for me, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I like what Jalen Hurts did, and I like the way that he responded. And I can't wait to see what he come out and do today. Not gonna lie to you. What y'all think?
Yeah, I think this is a big game because it's back. The ball's back in the ballpark of the Eagles. Look to be favorably making the playoffs if we just finish what we need to finish. This was the team that sent him back a step. The people who were in the middle of the Hurts saga, which way do I fall? Really fell back after this Giants game. So I think this is huge. It's another division game. It's another game at the end of the season that has playoff atmosphere in it. Niners losing to the Tennessee Titans. The Vikings, I've been creeping on their schedule. Although they got to play today. They got the Rams and the Packers. We need them to lose one of them games. One of them games, too, gives us a bigger cushion. But oh, yeah, they definitely lose at least one. But two will give us the cushion we need. But I don't want cushion. I want to know that my team can compete at a rate that I don't go into the playoff game like, well, we about to get blown out. Thanks for making it. You know what I mean? I want to know. I want to go into a playoff game saying, you know what? We could do this. We're underdogs by what? 4.5, maybe, blah, 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 5. We could do this. We could do this. And that's what I want to see. But it starts today. Real quick, shout out to the 284 people watching. Again, we are live on 3 channels. So if you're not subscribed to one of the people on the panel, make sure you do it. Philly Fresh in the search bar, Gate City Sports channel in the search bar, and the Philly Talk podcast. Definitely hit the like button wherever you're watching it. It really helps it grow. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. And like I said, it's for the culture. Let's get this dub. 36 minutes in. We're going to probably, we got a good 15, 20 minutes more. If there's one thing that you do not want to see from an Eagles defense and the Eagles offense, what is it?
Hold on real fast. I just wanted to get my perspective on the quarterback from Steve. Because I was kind of asking both of y'all. Like, yeah. No, I just wanted to know what you seen last week from him.
From Jalen.
Oh, yeah.
From Jalen. Look, I thought that he had arguably, because I do think the Arizona game from last year was a really good performance by Jalen, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think this one was up there. I'm not saying it was perfect. He definitely missed reads in this game. One of the reads I heard people call out, I'm glad Greg Cosell tackled it today because people are wrong. It was like kind of it was a post route, but the safety was there pre-snap. People have to understand the way reads work for quarterbacks. And that if the safety is there pre-snap in the middle of the field, you take it away. It's just the way it is. That's how it works. A veteran quarterback might be able to manipulate coverage with his eyes. I thought Greg did a really good job of breaking that down on the Inside the Birds and on their pregame show. So I'm not going to say that's not the one. The one where he forced the ball in the red zone to Devontae Smith was a really bad decision by Jalen. It was definitely a predetermined decision. He was not expecting to get what he got in terms of the coverage, and he panicked a little bit and still threw it. And truth be told, he missed the underneath when there was a wide open receiver for a touchdown.
It was game well.
But look, man, guys drop balls. He would have been like 24 or 26 with really just one bad decision. I'm not saying there still wasn't meat on the bone and there wasn't other opportunities, but young quarterbacks, they're going to check it down more than you would like at times. And they grow, especially on high-low concepts. They're going to check it down a little bit on those high-low concepts. He's growing. He's growing as a quarterback. Now, am I making any declarative statement about whether or not the Eagles are going to stay or what they're going to do? I don't know what the front office is going to do, guys. All I can say is that it feels like to me is that the coaching staff is in on him. He's meeting with Jeff Stoutland about the running game. He's got Friday meetings with Nick Sirianni. He's got a personal relationship with Brian Johnson. Like, it seems like they're sold on him to me. I mean, but ultimately, guys, I only know what's reported, and I don't have any say in the front office, so I don't know how the front office feels. The only thing I can really stick to is what the film, says, which is there's been improvements in his game throughout 2021. He's had some moments that, like the first Giants game, that was a few weeks ago. There's a big redemption game for Jalen where it wasn't good. But truth be told, I think it's trending in the way that would give him at least 2022.
Yeah, man.
I know people are going to hate it. And look, guys, I know people are going to hate it. I'm not saying that like I'm over the moon for any player. I'm just speaking to what the film says and speaking to how I'm perceiving the actions from the coaching staff. I know some of you guys really think Gardner Minshew should get more consideration. I've said my piece on why I think NFL GMs are not sold on Gardner Minshew, even though I think that, to be fair, I think Gardner Minshew is better than a handful of quarterbacks that start games on Sundays. But I think they see the limitations in his game, and they're just not convinced on him being anything more than a bridge quarterback. And I think Jalen gives you the potential of a bridge quarterback that could honestly if the stars align, might develop into a long-term piece. So I think that's how they're perceiving the situation personally.
He said if the stars align. No, I'm with you, Gabe. I do believe, look, I'm not fully sold on him being able to make every throw and him going to get where we need him to get as quick as most people would want him to get. But I do see that he gives you like a lot of young quarterbacks that need to develop, they can't win with playmaking skills in their legs, right? So that's why you can see him win games, maybe not with his arm necessarily every single week, but I've seen growth in his arm, growth in decision making minus the Giants game, and he's affording you room to wait a little bit because of his playmaking ability. That little clutch gene he has, just his leadership, his demeanor, and his legs, which is probably second to Lamar Jackson when it comes to overall playmaking ability. Just pull you out your sneakers or your cleats. So that affords him more time than a young quarterback who has to get better in them same categories, but can't do that. As you see the Zach Wilson struggle, how do you see the Trevor Lawrence struggle? Maybe at a different rate, struggling wise, but they don't have that other part of their game. So you expect them to develop quicker because they relied on that more. And I'm willing right now, knowing what our defense is going to look like, unless you are 100% getting a scotch-free Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson that we know is going to turn it around and pretty much guarantee us he's playing for 5 to 6 more years. Like there's not that great of options. So right now I'm ready and willing to rock with him in year 2, unless he falls off the cliff a couple more games. Then I will come out and say, well, dang, we should have never did it. But it's all about building this team up and making an identity out of it. So before we get to the questions, though, what you cannot, what the two things you don't want to see from the offense and defense, one each, occur in this game. Shout out to Jose Serrano with the $2 super chat. Run game is our identity. $190 on the ground today. I'll take it. We almost had that last week. Almost 500 yards of total offense. Almost over $170 on the ground and almost 300 in the air. That was the true dual threat game, right? You didn't know what the Eagles were going to throw at you, a nice pass or a nice run. So I definitely love that. But go ahead and let me know one thing on offense, one thing on defense that you do not want to see happen in this game because it could create some ugliness.
I'm going first.
Whoever.
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, it's real simple. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna take both of y'all answers on offense. It's turnovers and no, it's just turnovers. I know what the other one going to be, but I ain't gonna say it. It's turnovers to me. When you look at the situation of us being able to, and I don't know how many teams can say this, but being able to still win games by losing a turnover margin, it's kind of weird. But I don't want to see them, especially the dumb ones. I get it. Sometimes, people fumble. Nobody's perfect. I get it. I understand it. But we got a nice amount of turnovers that are just like unforced errors. Like that interception that we was talking about against the Giants before the half from Jalen Hurts. It was just inexcusable. To me, also the fumble by Boston Scott when you're driving down for a game-winning touchdown is inexcusable. So when you look at these things, we have to clean these things up. A lot of that is ball security, a lot of that is coaching, but it's also on the players to make sure that they keep the ball off the ground. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with defense. Defense to me, I don't want Slay to stay on one side. I need Slay just to every game to travel with the hottest wide receiver. We seen it in the Jets game when the dude Moore was going off on Nelson, who, by the way, I'm sorry, he's just not good, man. I mean, he's just not. But anyway, we seen him, and I put it in my video of when he was mic'd up and Nelson got hurt and they put McPherson. They put McPherson out there and he went to the coach like, listen, you need me to, whatever you need me to do, you need me to go with this guy, whatever guy you need me to go with. Well, he like, all right, well, you go with number 8. And he shut him down. Like literally shut him down. So when you look at the situation of Darius Slay is your best cornerback, and it's so far. It's so far. You need two football fields to look at the length of how far it is of him being the best cornerback. So to me, whoever the hot guy is, I don't care. I don't care if it's a tight end. You put Darius Slay on him, and you figure everything else out. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah,
You
I
said
want to hear
some
what.
things, Reese. You said some things that I'll expand upon so that way we're not just getting the same exact point. So
Okay.
you focus in on turnovers. I'll
Right.
say that it's about the scheme that the Giants run. It's the fact that their corners in particular are taller, lankier types that can get in and disrupt balls, which, Jesus, there's no way of saying these things that just doesn't require a pause. but in saying that, what I can say with confidence is that they're going to create windows that are really hard to throw into, which is a really good marker for a young quarterback you're trying to grade. Their secondary is widely underrated. And I think this is a game to where if Hurts comes out and looks really good, you have to feel really good about your quarterback. Although you're not, look, their offense could put their defense in a really bad place. And of course, all that stuff has to be taken into consideration. I get it. But this is a team that, like, it's not like we were facing Washington where the secondary is a little beat up, right? Where they're having some issues where they got guys back healthy on the defensive line, but you don't know how ready they were for that game because they missed the practice reps.
Right.
I think this is a little different. If he puts up similar numbers that he did to Washington, I think it becomes harder to make the argument that it might have been the quality of the opponent and what they were facing and what happened. Because, yes, the Giants' offense is horrible, not scared of it. Their defense is a little different story, in my opinion. I think their defense is a little bit more adequate. I think it's middle of the pack. And I think they can do some things from a coverage standpoint to make life hard. So if Jalen throws into tight windows and is making plays, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's it. But I think the flip side to that is that if he can't throw into those NFL windows, that's where you get yourself into trouble, especially if Nick doesn't coach the game right, especially if with Nick's absence from, being virtual. I'm trying to make sure I don't say certain words, guys, that they don't mess with our monetization here. But him being virtual, you guys get what I'm saying. Him being virtual, like that would that could cause some issues to where maybe the rhythm of the offense could be off, right? Maybe they lean a little too much into Jalen and they don't know when to scale it back. Like I think that's the worst case scenario type stuff, is like getting away from what you've been doing successfully. And I don't know if it was Nick trying to prove a point at times during the season where he was like really bullheaded, sticking to certain concepts and certain, like, I know this guy can do it, or if that was really a mandate from the front office trying to grade and judge what they had. So it's really hard to say, you know what I mean? Like, without being in the room, I don't know. But I definitely think that early stretches of the season, it was kind of like, why are we still doing this? Like, do they really think that people don't see the tunnel screen coming from the outside receiver? Like, really? Number one, the ball has to travel further, which causes, and it's going to the furthest point of the field, which causes your linemen in the blocks to take longer to get there. They were just shutting it down. I was like, why are we still doing this? Like, I don't understand. But I think that Nick has really cleaned it up. And I've liked Nick from the start. I thought he was just a really high quality football mind. I didn't know that it would work out as well as it's worked out down the stretch, though, guys. I'll admit. I didn't think he was going to be this good down the stretch the way he's kind of proven. But I think some people have made some really good points in the comments, which is, I don't know how good this Eagles team is because we beat a lot of bad teams. Denver probably being our quality win of recent. I mean, I don't know. We beat a lot of bad teams, to be honest. I agree.
Yeah, and so that's why down this stretch we're going to be playing a lot of bad teams to get into the playoffs, minus the Cowboys, whatever they throw out there. And so it would be nice to see us play a playoff game and see what we really are, right? We're playing our best football as of late. Let's see us play against a playoff team, gain that momentum going into next season. When you have 3 first-round picks, a lot of money, things you got to move, things you got to do. And it's good for the young guys. Yeah. But real quick, let's get these super chats. Eagles, Flyers, Brian Fuller with the $20 super sticker. Appreciate that. He also dropped a $5 super chat. You're the man, Philly Mike and Philly Nation. Fly Eagles fly. I had this game 38-17, close to a 40 burger. That would be lovely. I feel like you're going to be close to Fresh. Fresh been calling some blowouts, and he's been right with most of his blowout calls. Jersey Boy with the $5 donation. Appreciate you, my guy, channel member, both of y'all. Eagles win 31-17. Another nice little blowout. Defense got to be in attack mode. Need 2 turnovers, and the offense runs for 200+ yards. Sanders/Smith get a touchdown each. I'll take that from the young boy, even though I'm not starting Smith in my fantasy right now. And one of them, my man Fresh, got me by 10 points.
So, hey, Storm Gamer, just real quick.
Let
me address it.
Who is this guy?
Storm Gamer. Hey, look, man, we're gonna get to your question, but you're kind of asking a question that we close. It's eerily similar to the way we close our videos. That's why we haven't really answered it, because it's basically kind of the way that we end our videos. That's why we haven't addressed it.
And if you do spam in the chat, that's the one thing that we at least I tell my moderators, if they spam like asking the same question over and over, like you can periodically get that in there, but we do definitely end our streams this way, and so that's why they'll mute you if that's the
case.
Sorry, Reese.
Nah, I'm just like, dude, like. We'll get there. Give us a second. There's over 200 people in here. So yeah, we got you, Storm Gamer. And who else said somebody else said they invisible. What you say? All right. NY Jets FL, sorry. So what's your question? I mean, we miss things. We're not perfect. You know what I mean? We like the Eagles wide receivers right now. We miss stuff. That's what it is.
We dropped the ball.
We won't catch everything. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But so what's your answer, Mike?
Oh, my answer? To my own question, I think on defense is just the lack of pressure. I don't need them to send crazy blitzes all the time, but I think you do got to send an extra guy here and there. And I would like it to be some of them linebackers, right? And Avery, a guy who we use as a defensive end, as a joker / pass rusher. I want to send some guys like that. TJ Edwards up the middle once in a while. Just do that, right? Just don't use your linebackers as much as you want to in soft zone. Send them. And just, if you don't hit home on a blitz, your outside coverage better be tight, because you can get beat. One missed tackle turns into something crazy. But I think you got to keep quarterbacks like Fromm, whose insurance is pretty good with State Farm. You got to keep them off bounds, and definitely got to get at them. So I want to see that from the defense. And on the offensive side of the game, I just want to see balance, right? And when I say balance, I don't want to look at the box score and say, okay, it's 30-30. I just want to see it per drive. There was a stat that Ruben Frank had not early in the season, probably by week 8 or 9, that not on box scores that are balanced, but when the drives are balanced, right? So 8-play drive, 5-3, 4-4, around that, Jalen Hurts is accurate. He's accurate because of the defense playing us different on them drives, because of how dangerous Sanders is, Howard, and even Jalen Hurts' feet. So I just think, and on a per drive basis, you want to keep it as balanced as possible. And when you do that, this Eagles offense really looks good. I just see us move from 20-20 a lot when we're balanced. And, getting in the end zone is a different story, but just be able to move the ball and make these defenses, when the Cowboys watch the Eagles tape from the Chargers game, from the Broncos game, from the Saints game, from the Lions game, from the Giants game, the Washington game, they're like, dang, this is a different Eagle team that we saw in week 2, where Jalen Hurts threw the ball 49 times. I'm just guessing. I don't know. This is a different Eagles team. And in December, when it's cold and they're coming to Philly, right? They might want to bring them little heated seats that they do, right? But we don't play in a dome. We're not from that type of, we're not built that way. So when it's cold, that ground hurts that much more. And when you got to tackle Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, and Jalen Hurts 40+ times, it's not fun. It's not fun. So I want to beat the Cowboys, whether they come out here.
Out here today. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Huh?
it's nice as crap today. I should have went to the game. It's like 52
Yeah, I know.
degrees, man.
It's nice today, but I'm talking about,
No, I got you. I got
later.
you talking about
I went to the future quickly. I went to the future. You see how much
Nah,
I care about the
I'm
Giants.
just saying it's just amazing how nice it is, man. Like
Yeah.
it was 54 yesterday, even though it was raining, but it was 54 yesterday. I'm like, what the? I come outside, I got my coat on, I got a hoodie coat on. I'm come outside, I'm like, yo, what the? I threw my jacket right in the crib. Like, this was crazy, man. Global warming at its best, but we ain't here for that.
Yeah.
So it's one thing that I didn't touch on because I thought one of you guys was
penalties.
Exactly.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Exactly. When you look at the situation, they have been dumbing down a little bit, but it's still stupid ones. Like Jordan Mailata, and I said this in a couple videos. Why in the hell are you hugging a cornerback like you miss him or something? Like that holding call to me, I think it was on a Miles Sanders. It was on a third down Miles Sanders run. No, second down Miles Sanders run. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's to me that kind of play should never happen. Like, all you had to do, you three, 50, 6, 7. All you do is get a cornerback a nudge. Instead, and I don't know if y'all know the play that I'm talking about. Instead, he hugs the dude and gets a holding call. It's like those kind of penalties is what pisses me off. You know what I mean? So to me, man, you got to stay clean. Of course, you're not going to be perfect. It's going to be false starts, especially with the offensive line. And now that I'm on the offensive line, man, it just seemed like whoever they put out there, they're producing. This is not like last year. Last year, when they was throwing people out there, the puzzles wasn't fitting. And it just seemed like whoever they put out there this year, like Sua Opeta had a good game last week.
Yeah.
He actually had a good game. And I'm like, damn, like what is Jeff Stoughton feeding these dudes? Like, whatever lineup they put out there is working, man. So to me, depth-wise, we had the best offensive line in the game. I'm just saying, period. Like, not just starters. I'm just saying we're on our fourth guard right now, fourth or fifth guard. Like when you talk about Sua Opeta, so we went through Brandon Brooks, Landon Dickerson,
Isaac Samalu,
Alex. Yeah, we forgot about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, I did. So when you look at the situation, man, like damn. And then it's just amazing to me how good this offensive line is, and a lot of that is on Jeff Stoutland. And I don't know how long we're going to have this guy, because if I'm a coach, I need some of that energy over here. You know what I mean? But when you look at dudes like Matt Pryor, who we just seen last night, he's balling. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like this offensive line is amazing, and it's not the sexy thing to talk about. It's not the thing that a lot of people want to hear. But this is the foundation of a football team, and they've been holding it down. Like they are the reason that we are number one in rushing. Because even when Jalen Hurts didn't play, we still put up 200 yards. People forget about that. We put up 200 yards rushing without basically our leading rusher. So, man, shout out to this offensive line. Go ahead, y'all.
Nah, you're right. You wanted to say something on that before we get to our ending of the show thing? That you know what I mean?
Yeah, Stoutland's got to get loaded up into the Matrix. He doesn't get to leave.
Yeah, ever.
Load him up into the Matrix, bro. He's here in perpetuity.
Pay this man. Get this man. And remember this all season, there were talks about him leaving, right? Well, he was going to go to college and play for Alabama.
Yeah. Alabama. Yeah.
That guy can never leave. Like I said, look, and again, that's not to say what these guys turned into, but Kelsey was late round draft pick, Driscoll late round draft pick, Herbig late round draft pick, Isaac Samalu, not that was he like fourth, right? These are later
Jordan
picks.
Mailata never played a
Jordan
day of
Mailata,
football.
brought him from a different country. Come over here and play a different sport. Yeah, I mean,
played a day of football, man.
Like these guys, I credit the guys too because they're coachable. But my God, man, Jeff Stalin. Listen, from now on, the Eagles draft an offensive lineman in the draft. I don't even do my research. I'm just like, yeah, he's good. He's good. Jeff Stalin gonna get him right. He's seen something.
Yeah, that boy.
They just don't draft for no reason. No matter. Look, undrafted guy, never played football. Who's our offensive line coach? Jeff Stalin? He'll be all right. He'll be a starter in a year or two. Yeah, right, you got him. It's good.
Yo, we need y'all to get that spam out of here, please, y'all, please.
Yeah.
Oh, even if they
do, what's crazy is that we moved on from Juan Castillo to Jeff Stoutland. Like, just the long duration of excellent offensive line coaching we've had here. And even if you go back to the Ray Rhodes days and you look at who we had as the offensive line coaches, like, man, we've been spoiled for a long time in Philly with offensive line coaches. We just really have.
And this is why we have won the most games for the last 20 years in the NFC East, and it's up there in the NFC period.
We're tied here. We're tied in playoff wins or with the Packers, I believe, for in the NFC in the last 20 years.
Is the Packers?
Just because of the dominance of O-line throughout the years. Let's not forget the players we got. But again, I always want to credit the players too, but these offensive line coaches get them right, from the John Runyons to the Trey Thomases to the Jason Peters. Then right, we got him from Buffalo. It's just wild, man. We've been that front's been up there.
And that's why I think that we appreciate it. Well, me personally, I appreciated it so much more when I seen what I seen last year. When I seen all them dudes going down and our quarterback, whoever it was, couldn't get time to look at their first read, and it was just atrocious. It was atrocious. So when you look at years before that and even this year, it's like, man, you really gotta tip your hat to this organization for making sure that their quarterback and their run game, when we run the ball, is not really in harm's way, because you got these big guys taking care of what they need to take care of. Now we need to get back to having a defensive line being dominant again, but offensive line, man, shout out to them, man. But Mike, I know we got to get out of here soon, so go ahead.
Yeah. So do us a favor though, chime in and let us know your offense and defensive player and score prediction. You can put that all in the same comment if you want. Chime in, because y'all definitely be spitting that fire. And also hit the like button if you're just getting here. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. It pushes it out for other Philly fans and some haters around the corner. We got 328 eyes on here on 3 channels. Again, Philly Talk Podcast, Gate City Sports Channel, Philly Fresh. And who wants to start with their offense and defense?
Hey, real fast, before we do that, did we go over the inactives and all that yet? No?
Nah, you could do that real quick, because you probably got it pulled up.
Yeah, so we got the boy Tay Gown. He's inactive. I didn't even know we had another quarterback. Reed Sitnik. Yep. Did y'all know we had another quarterback?
Yeah, they got when we got.
I did not know. I'm sorry. I did not know, man. It's been a busy week for me. You hear me? Reed Sitnik. Mala Tulupalu. I can never say his name. And Kay Vincent. So it looked like Landon Dickerson's supposed to play, right? He's supposed to play, right?
Yes, sir. Looking good for him.
All right, go ahead, y'all.
So who wants to go first? Gate, Fresh, offense.
You guys want me to go first? Or?
I went last because of technical difficulties last week, but this week actually. But I'll go first. Offensive player, man. Wow. I made the dumbest decision to picking JJ. I think of Whiteside last week. I should have picked Greg Ward. But I gotta go with the high hand right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going with Dallas Goedert. That dude, and Gates. I know it was me, you, and Chuck. We had our disagreements on this. Me and Chuck was on the side of Dallas Goedert. You like the Zach Ertz. I think Dallas Goedert is the number 1 tight end, and it's not even a debate right now. When you look at this guy's dominance, he just needs to focus on catching the football in close things, because when he dropped that screen, I was even madder when he dropped the screen than the interception. That screen, it was just green grass and players in front of him. So
Yeah, Dallas Goedert's always the little thing with him has been route running. He's athletic enough where he can kill linebackers. He can kill those type of coverages on him.
right.
Sometimes an athletic enough safety gives Goddard a problem because he's just not a good enough route runner yet. If he gets up to where he should be as a route runner and stops these concentration drops, you're talking Jason Kelsey. Or not Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, the other Kelsey. You're talking Travis Kelsey.
Center?
You're gonna need a corner. You're gonna need a corner to stop him. Jason, can you imagine him as a tight end, bro?
Hey, you see you see him run down the field with Miles Sanders, man. He got some speed on him.
And not only that, Miles Sanders, dude, follow your block. Like he's blocking him to the right. You go around him. That's one thing about Miles. I know we get on subject real fast. That's one thing about Miles. His eyes ain't open all the time. He misses holes and he misses blocks. Like you're supposed to go to the outside. You go to the outside, you probably score right there. You had one man to beat and you had a blocker in front of you. Do the math. That's 1 and 1. That means you're by yourself. So I was kind of mad about that, but that's my offensive player, Dallas Goedert. Defense, man. Defense, one of these linemen got to step up. I'm gonna go with Hargrave, man. It's time to be dominant again. You came into the beginning of the season. I don't know if they've been moving your gap assignments. I don't know what it is, but you have. I'm not gonna say non-existent, because they definitely been shutting down the run game. They've been doing that. But I'm talking about getting after the quarterback. You got to do that, especially with this dude, Jake Fromm from State Farm. Like, you definitely got to make sure that you get at this guy, man. And a lot of that is going to have to come from the pressure in the middle. And let's not forget they got Saquon Barkley back there. We just forget about him. He at once was, arguably one of the best running backs in the National Football League. But those dudes still can have flashes. So we can't forget about that. We can't forget about that he scored a 99-yard touchdown on us. You know what I mean? 2 years ago. Can't forget about things like that. So I'm gonna go with Hargrave, and my score prediction, man. I think it's another one, y'all. I think it's another one. I'm going with 34-14.
34-14.
No, he really is.
Right.
I like the blowout prediction. I'll go next, Mike, if you want.
Go ahead.
All right, defensively. Man, Derek Barnett, I hate to say it, bro, but I just feel like he's been real close to getting home on a couple of plays.
Yes.
I got a feeling he's going to get home today. I do. I just feel like he's gonna do something in this game. I feel. Hopefully, it's not something stupid. Hopefully, it's something positive.
He's gonna do something. He said,
we don't know what direction it's going to go, guys. It could be positive. It could be stupid. I'm gonna lean towards positive in this game. Offensively, I'm gonna leave Mike somebody. I'm gonna say Miles Sanders. This is why I'm gonna say Miles Sanders. I think he's gonna get his first touchdown on the season today as a rusher, and I feel like he's gonna break one. I feel like he's going to break
one. Period.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess you're saying you'll take it in any way it comes, right? Whatever. Yeah. I feel like Miles Sanders is like it's. I know he's coming back. He's a little nicked up, but I don't know, man. I feel like he's just been on the verge. It's been almost there a couple of times this season. He couldn't quite break it outside and get. I feel like it's going to happen today. I feel like he's going to break one.
Okay.
There we go. And score prediction. Gate always you trying to slip past it.
I think he'd be forgetting because he's too focused on the players.
And what I said, what am I supposed to predict? Score?
Yeah.
Man, I hate this is like the thing I hate predicting the most, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The Giants defense is a lot better than what I'm about to score or predict here, but I feel like they ticked Philly off. I feel like this team, it's in the link. It's gonna be fired up crowd, like I'm gonna say 40-9 Philly. 40-9 Philly. I feel like this
40-9.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dang.
Yeah. I feel like this game's gonna be over. I feel like we're going to get snaps, but it's because we be up so large on this team.
My man said 40 to Nizzy.
Yo, we are coming out in our all black everything, and I don't know why we always use it against the Giants, but we be killing people in the all black. It be funeral
if I
time.
knew that, I'd have had the black hoodie. I ain't know that. Damn.
It's the all black everything. Yeah, we coming out hungry. So, funeral. But yeah, so all right, so I'm gonna go with my defensive player first, and I said this earlier in the week, and I'm gonna stick by it. I think we're gonna see the Fletcher Cox that we used to know down the stretch. The way he was able to produce in the Washington game, and just the leadership, vocally that I saw from him on the sideline in the huddle. You don't normally see that, you know. I think he's a guy who leads by example, but this season he hasn't been able to show anything. So now he's getting vocal. I think he really realizes that. You know, it's either this year or next year is one of his last, maybe in the Eagles uniform, depending. And why not go out with a bang, or why not show that I can still do it? I think he has to step up, and I think we're going to see a big game from Fletch. I mean, hopefully Fromm got some good insurance because he's coming. Now, to the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go with, you got Dallas Goedert, you got Miles Sanders, two guys I think who are going to go off in this game, but another guy. Let's go. It was a Christmas gift, but yes, Devontae Smith. I gotta hold it this way because I'll turn his. He'll start being green, and you'll see my computer screen. But Devontae Smith,
bars,
right? He gonna go off, right? A couple quiet games again. The volume's not there because of how we play, but the specialness is there. That toe drag swag, he was dang near horizontal. There was no way you should physically be able to get them toes down. He did it. And I'm looking for a big game. He's had 3 games of over 20 fantasy points and 3 games where he went off hard. He's going to get another one before the season ends. Going after that Deshaun Jackson's rookie record. This is going to get put up soon. And he going to do me proud. That's my guy. 4. Offense, Devontae Smith. Let's get it. And the score prediction, I can't go as bold as Steve. I want to go with something like that, but go ahead, Steve.
Hey, just real quick before you give it your score prediction, I want to shout out a few things. First off, Pops, I saw you in the comment section. I know you're about to switch over to watch Mike do his live stream. He'd be watching you, Mike.
Oh, snap. There you go.
Yeah. Before Lehigh, where was the training camp at? Does anyone remember where the training camp was prior to, because Lehigh was like 96? Because I remember the TO stuff at Lehigh. I can't remember it as. If y'all know in the chat, Pops, if you're still there, let me know. Also, let me shout out my brother, man. It's my brother's Christmas gift, bro.
That's tough.
You hook me up with a Randall Cunningham rookie card on here to hold 9 yards, man. Like, I appreciate it, man. Cardboard Carolina. He said he can do. He said he'll definitely do Eagles, obviously, but he said he'll do other fan bases if y'all want to pay for it. Cardboard Carolina, y'all. Mike, what's your score prediction, bro?
Damn, my man came out with the 40-9. I'm going to go 13 points for the Giants. A measly 13 for the Giants. And I'm going to get the Eagles scoring 33. 33-13. We don't lose when we score over 30. You know what I mean? Well, we normally don't lose. I don't know. I think we did score over 30 against the Chiefs, so we lost there. So it is what it is. But that's my score prediction, 33-13. Devontae Smith about to catch a touchdown and close to 100 yards. And as Steve said, I do the live play-by-plays. I'll be setting up for that as fast as I can now that we're going on 12:36. Anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Give me that 40 burger.
Real fast. I got a half an hour. I told y'all if I get 50 comments on the do's and don'ts and a free giveaway, I will be giving away a hat also with the hoodie. And we have 44. I usually don't do this on the stream. You know what I mean?
Do it.
Shut up. Huh?
No, go ahead. Tell them what was the title of it. Tell them they got 30 minutes to go find it.
Yeah, I got 30 minutes, man. It's my last video I put up. I didn't put up a video yesterday. So every Friday I do a free giveaway. And you got to guess a certain player that I pick how many yards he's going to have. But you got to go to the video, comment below, and let me know. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, 50 comments on it, I give out a free hat also, and also a free hoodie. So comment, We at like 44, 45 right now. Y'all get over 50, the hat come too, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. And again, he said a certain player because the only way you can find a player out is if you watch it. Within the beginning of his video, he's going to say, blah, 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 get this much, leave it in the comment section. And trust me, he can see the time. So you only got about 30 minutes. Go do it. The merch is fire. And all you got to do is be right. You know what I mean? Whoever gets the closest. Last video, so it's as simple as Philly Fresh, search bar, click, scroll, click, listen, click, right, click, receive. You know what I mean? It's good stuff. Gate, you got anything you want to say?
My God. You should be a traffic instructor. You got them right there. I don't know how to do all that. Listen, just go figure it out. Yeah.
I'm all like, yeah. Go ahead, Gate.
No, appreciate you guys in the chat. Westchester, PA was where it used to be held. Appreciate y'all, man. I remember, I think it was Westchester we went to. I think it was before Lehigh.
What made you ask that though, Steve?
Because they were talking about Ricky Waters, someone, the for who, for what. Okay. And I remember going, I think it was before Lehigh though. I don't think we went to Lehigh. I think it was Westchester. I think it was the last year they were at Westchester. Either that, it was the first year they moved over to Lehigh. But I remember my dad took me, my older brother Jerry, and I think my youngest brother. We all went. Because I just saw somebody in the chat saying I remember it. Like I was a kid, but I remember it.
There you go.
They comment and you might get over 50.
There we go. Shout out to LT with a $2 donation. He said, PTP, you're going to keep us locked on the Vegas game too. If they play at 1 o'clock too, then we might have to talk about that through the live play-by-play. Because the Vikings loss is going to be extra Christmassy for the Philadelphia Eagles after this dub.
What the heck is Christmassy, Mike?
I don't know. I just made it up. I be saying sometimes. I just be saying things. I don't even know sometimes.
Yeah.
With that being said, I still got to cut the picture out of Jake Fromm because I didn't know he was a quarterback. So I still don't even got none of my things set up. I got to do my little cut out.
All right, Jake Fromm. Out of here, man. You already know what time it is. Listen, we don't. We'll let y'all know if we're gonna do the post game, man. But you already know. Stay Philly, stay fresh, y'all.
Yo, look at Drummer Hall. Drummer Hall said Jake coming out in khakis.
Khakis in a red shirt.
Yeah, let's go. But until next time, hit the like button, subscribe to all three on the panel because we drop content throughout the week. Hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, and it's gonna get merrier. If that's even another word too, because we're gonna get this dub. We out.
It might be.
Later, y'all.